I gave birth to a global phenomenon. I am the world's first modern-day graffiti writer. I am the very first element of hip-hop, 1965.
Now, explain what bomb out is for those who don't know.
When you write your name all over the place.
Right. So when the newspaper says that you erroneously, is that the right word? It says that you died and you didn't. You start bombing the city, Cornbread lives, or what did you write? It was a longer phrase.
I wasn't right that then. I knew that I had to capture the imagination of the media to draw them to me so they could rewrite their story and bring me back to life. Nobody comes back from the dead. Once they put Cornelius in the grave and that issue was rectified, my legacy would have been questioned. I don't want to have no second guess me about how I know what you're doing. There's no second guess.
Like an imposter took over the tag.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't want that.
And I knew how to do something bizarre. I got the elephant. Did I tell you about the elephant? Right? So I got the elephant. The article came out. I was enamored. I read about myself in the newspapers. This is what it is.
What did they write about Yeah, we talked about tagging the elephant at the zoo. What did they write about what you did there? Because you not only tagged the elephant, but then ran out of the cage area and then just started tagging the whole zoo to the point where, like, by the time you left, the police were waiting for you.
Yeah, somebody was in that zoo when the article came out. Cornbread shot to death. I called the newspapers. They did not want to rectify the mistake, and I knew then I had to take matters in my own hands and make them rectify it. And if I went to the zoo and bomb out the whole zoo as a tourist attraction, they don't have a choice of the matter but to come cover that zoo. So I goes to the zoo. It wasn't a good day to start because it was a hot day. It was crowded. A lot of children running around, a lot of baby carriages, pretty packed. And I know that wasn't the time I had to come back, either before the zoo or after the zoo opened. And on my way out, I see these people mudding around this pit, and I was going to see what's holding their attention. And this guy standing in the pit taking pictures for the audience holding the elephant's trunk. People taking pictures. He's pulling the elephant ear. He's got laying against the elephant's torso. People taking pictures, and the lady says to him, "Aren't you afraid the elephant's going to hurt you?" He said, "No, the elephant came from the circus, man. He's innocent. He's used to being around people. He's not going to hurt anybody." I heard that he's not going to hurt anybody. Well, if he can do it, I can do it. So I came back the next day with some peanuts, and I'm familiarized myself with this elephant because elephants don't forget shit. And I start feeding this elephant my peanuts. I'm throwing the peanuts at him, and I'm talking to him, "Big guy, how long you been here, and how they treating you, and what is your name?" And he eat my peanuts. I'm talking to him. He's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I come back the next day, there was some more peanuts. I came back again. It was 6:30, 6:45 the next morning. Got to the pit, hop into the pit, start shaking the cane. He draws his attention, looks at me, I look at him. He knows exactly who I am.
He's like, "You're the peanut guy."
Right. I walked up to him, I wrote, "Cornbread lives." Other side, "Cornbread lives." I could have been done that.
Yeah.
I could have been done that. Waste my time. Come out the zoo. And I did what my intention was. My intention was to bomb out the whole zoo. Say, I did it. Bomb out the whole zoo. Now, if I left that pit and went to the exit, I'd have got away. I took my time, I bombed out the zoo. By the time I got to the exit, cops was pulling up on me. Somebody was in the zoo, so what I was doing.
Right.
Called the cops. I got arrested. I'm at the police station. Whole time I'm laying there, every 10, 15 minutes. "Which one of you guys is Cornbread?" I said, "Hey, what's up, officer?" "Kid, give me your autograph." All day long, man.
That's wild.
All day long. Guys on the block, "Yo, Cornbread, who the fuck is you?" And you gonna find it. Yeah.
So the elephant happens, you're released, you still want the attention, you still want the media to know that you're living. You want to be unmistakable. Yes. So then you hear the Jackson 5 are coming.
Yes.
And they used to do this thing. Can't imagine it now in this post 9/11 world, but the airport wasn't as secure. And it sounds like the musicians would do this thing where they'd fly in, get off their plane for 2 seconds, sign a bunch of autographs, not even perform that night in Philly, and then just go off to the next destination. So you saw that as an opportunity to do something risky. What did you do?
Everything was nothing secure. The zoo
Yeah.
wasn't secure.
Right.
The airport wasn't secure. A lot of people got away with a lot of things back in them days. I mean, I knew guys who was bank robber series. They were serious robbing banks.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of that exists, But I wasn't my thing. My thing was about making the media. All I wanted to do was, I wanted Philip to read about me. But when Philip read about me, the whole world read about me. Well, that trickled down, man.
So you're at the airport. You have this idea. You're gonna. Well, how did you do it? You just showed up and jumped a fence, or did you show up to? Are you pretending?
Georgie Woods announced on the radio that the Jackson 5 was coming to do a battle against the 5 stair steps, and then he
What does that mean?
5 stair steps is another.
Oh, another group.
Group.
Gotcha.
Young kids like the Jackson 5.
Okay.
5 stair steps dug in their hands. They could really step and sing, and he said anybody who wanted the autographs could come to the Philadelphia airport and get autographs. If the Rolling Stones come to town, it was simple. Come out to the tarmac, meet and greet, take pictures, handshake. It was like that. The Rolling Stones with the Beatles came to town. It was like that. But 9/11 had all this shit changed. So he announced that the Jackson 5 was coming. If you could meet and greet, and come out to the tarmac and take some pictures and shake hands. That was not the case. It was about trying to get publicity for the show. Because when they came in, the plane came in, it idled about 10 minutes, the steps let down. Michael came to the top of the stairwell. Everybody went ballistic, screaming and hollering. Michael, Tito, Jackie, Marlon, and Jermaine came down the stairwell into the crowd. Total chaos, ballistic, screaming and hollering and hooping.
Sure.
I zipped up the steps, hold on to the rail, and write my name on the jet.
Can I ask a silly question? Did you go knowing you were going to do that to the jet?
That your
idea?
No, I wanted to go down there, and I was thinking about writing my name with several airplanes.
Oh, that's right. And then, you were already stalking the airport.
Right.
That's right.
Right. But I knew that if I could write my name on this jet,
right,
that would make me the elite graffiti artist of the world.
Right, because if you just tagged a plane, would we still be talking about it to this day? Maybe, but
I don't know. I think planes have been written on before.
But right, you did the Jackson 5 jet, and 50 years later, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, yes, that's a different status. Now, I really wanted to be known for writing my name on some cop cars and paddy wagons.
Okay.
Right? And I knew better to go to the police station to try some shit like that.
Sure.
Because they'd probably whip my ass or get me locked up.
Or ask for your autograph, apparently. Or all of them.
Right.
So why do you think it is so innate in us that in every time period that we can go back to, there's some small number of people who write on walls?
Because it's a chosen few. It's a chosen few. We are the smallest community with the biggest impact on planet Earth.
What does it offer the world? What does this offer the world?
Freedom, expression, unity, connection. The world becomes a smaller place.
That was really beautiful.